Hello everyone, this is Shruti Saxena Das, and in today's lecture we are going to discuss about token bucket algorithm. So in the previous video we have already discussed leaky bucket algorithm. Both of these algorithms are open loop algorithms, and both of these algorithms are used for traffic shaping. So traffic shaping also we have discussed that it is used to control traffic. It regulates the rate of data transmission. So the first one was leaky bucket, in which it was taking packets, collecting it up to the maximum capacity, and packet in the bucket is only released from the bucket at a fixed rate. So there we discussed that inflow can be bursty, inflow can be random, but the outflow was constant. But the problem there was that if in any application you need to require output to speed up, then you cannot do so because output was fixed. We have discussed that in leaky bucket, we have discussed the implementation also. So in leaky bucket we discussed that inflow can be random. So inflow was random, but the outflow was constant. Okay, but as here the outflow is constant, but in some cases you might need your output rate to speed up. In that case you cannot use your leaky bucket algorithm, so we can use token bucket for that. So in case of token bucket, we use leaky bucket, which holds token generated at regular intervals. So basically token bucket uses leaky bucket which holds token generated at regular intervals. Okay, so there are some steps which will be followed in this, that in regular intervals, see what are the steps, that in regular intervals tokens are added, some time limit will fix, and after that time tokens will be added. So tokens are added in the bucket after every regular interval, and this bucket has some maximum capacity. So when we were discussing leaky bucket algorithm, in that we discussed that it can be implemented using queue. So there was a queue in which we were inserting the packets. So here also what we are going to do, that this bucket will be having some maximum capacity. Then the next step is that if a packet is ready, then the token is removed from the bucket and the packet is sent. So third step is that if the packet is ready, a token is removed from the bucket and packet is sent. And if in case token is not available, then we cannot send a packet. Packet has to wait. So if token is not present in the bucket, then in that case we cannot send the packet. Packet cannot be sent. This algorithm is less restrictive if you'll compare it with leaky algorithm, as it allows heavy traffic. Here the outflow rate is not constant. Okay, at a time, like, there is a limit on number of packets which are going to be sent, but here the limit is not there on the size of the packet. So bursty packets can also be sent. So here it is less restrictive if we'll compare it in terms of traffic. So it can allow heavy traffic as well. So these are the steps which we need to follow in case of token bucket algorithm. And here the limit of the traffic is restricted by number of tokens available in the bucket at particular instant. Because see, if token is available, then only you will be able to send packet. If token is not available, then that packet won't be sent. So here you need to remember this thing, that if token is not available, then you cannot send any packet. So here the limit of the traffic is restricted by number of tokens available in the bucket. So how many number of tokens are available in the bucket? According to that, so restricted by number of tokens available in the bucket. If token is available, then only packet will be sent. By using this concept, we can reduce the traffic. The traffic will be reduced like this. Now here, how can we implement it? How do we implement this concept? So implementation is that you can use a variable. See, suppose you have to use a leaky bucket for this. So this is a bucket. Okay, what we have to do, we have to take one variable which will be used to count the number of tokens. So we'll use a variable to count number of variables. So here that counter will be incremented after every t seconds. So that's what we have written in step 1. Step 1 says that in regular intervals tokens are added in the bucket. So counter is incremented at regular interval or at every t seconds. Okay, and this token will be removed. Or what is token exactly? It's a counter variable. So we have to decrement the value of this variable, counter variable, decrement counter variable value for each packet transmitted. So whenever a packet is transmitted, you have to reduce the value of this counter variable. So this is the concept, that you'll be having one bucket. This bucket is going to hold packets. So you'll be having one bucket for tokens. Now here this counter is incremented after every t seconds. That means in terms of token, the tokens will be added after every t seconds, and those tokens will be removed whenever you want to send any packet. Okay, so this is implemented using a counter variable. You have to take one variable, we'll initialize it to something, and after that, after every t seconds, you have to increment it by some value, and you have to decrement it with the same value if the packet is transmitted. Okay, when the value of this counter becomes 0, so when this counter value becomes 0, becomes 0, then you cannot send any more packet. No more packets can be sent. Okay, because see, if the counter value is 0, then no more packets can be sent. Then see, this you can understand like this is the incoming traffic which is coming. Okay, this is your queue in which basically this is your bucket, okay, in which packets are going, and this is the outflow. Now there will be one bucket or one holder for tokens. This is basically our counter variable, and we'll initialize it to something. Now if the packet is coming and you want to send this packet, then it will check for the token. If token is available, if the counter value is not 0, in that case only you can send the packet. If the counter value is 0, then you cannot send the packet. Okay, so this is the scenario. Token is like permit to transfer or send a packet. So in case you want to send a packet, then you need a token for that. Okay, and if this token is added, after every t seconds this token is added. That means the counter value is incremented. Okay, don't confuse between counter variable and token, both are same. Here see what is happening, that this is the incoming traffic, this is the bucket. Now when this incoming traffic is coming, this packet will check for the token or will check for the counter variable value. If it is not 0, if it is greater than 0, then it will decrement one token and decrement the value of counter variable, and this packet will be sent. Okay, and there is one more token, so next packet will be sent. Now as tokens are not available, if both of these tokens are utilized, then you are not having any more token, and if token is not there, you cannot send packets. So what you have to do, after t second again token will be added. So when token will be added, then the next packet will be sent. So by using this token scheme, we can regulate our traffic. So at a time, only a fixed limit of packets are passing, because we have set the time to t second. Now what is the basic difference between token bucket and leaky bucket? If you see, what is the basic difference between token bucket and leaky bucket? Then the first thing is that in leaky bucket we have not discussed any concept of token. So this was token independent. Okay, in case of token bucket, it is token dependent. Okay, concept is based on token. If token is available, then only packet is sent. Then the second thing is packets are transmitted continuously. Okay, packets are transmitted continuously in this case. Sorry. So packets are transmitted continuously in this case, but in case of token bucket, if there are enough tokens, then only number of packets will be transmitted. Otherwise, we cannot transmit. So irrespective of this thing, packets can be transmitted if token is available. If token is available. Okay. So in case of leaky bucket, we have seen that if you are having large burst, or if heavy traffic is there, if a large packet is to be transferred, then it was not able to do so because the outflow was constant. Okay, speed was slow. But here, because if token is available, you can send it at a faster rate. Here the packets are sent at constant rate. Okay, whereas in this case, packets are sent at faster rate. If token is available, simple, it can be passed. Packets are sent at faster rate. Okay, in leaky we have discussed that bucket can be implemented using a queue. Queue is going to hold packets, and if traffic consists of fixed size packets, or if the traffic consists of variable length packet, then what are the methods which we are going to use? We discussed one example also in leaky bucket, in which if output rate contains if suppose variable length packets are there, then what you have to do, or if fixed number of packets are there, fixed length of packets are to be transmitted, then what you have to do. So accordingly we have discussed the one algorithm also we have discussed. So here basically you need to remember that leaky bucket are not dependent on any tokens, and we can transmit the packet if packet is available. If queue is having empty cells, then you can send the packets. And if the size of the packet, if you remember in leaky bucket we discussed that you have to take some value, counter value n. If the size of the packet is less than n, then only packet is transmitted, and if not, then you cannot transfer the packet. Okay, that was the case which we discussed in leaky bucket. So in this case what you have to do, if token is available, then only packet can be sent. Here the scenario is quite different. Here size doesn't matter. Here you can send bursty packets as well. Their size was most important, because if the packet size is greater than some value which you have taken, then you cannot send the packet. So you can go through the previous video if leaky bucket is not clear. So this is the major difference between these two, that here token bucket can allow packets which are larger in size. Secondly, here the method is token dependent. If token is available, then only we can send, and this token scheme can be used to regulate the traffic. So I hope this must be clear. In case of any confusion, you can post your queries in comment box. Thank you so much.